Welcome to my channel, everyone. It's Anthony TDG, or Anthony the Dubstep Gamer, and I'm here with the Cyno guide. So, using my sister's account, I now have access to Cyno, and I'll just go over how to build them because she did build them quite a bit. Also, just personally speaking between me and you, just build your characters more. I can't carry your account forever. Please build them. Cherish them. But anyways, I'm going to show you how to build Cyno, so I'm going to go over his best artifacts, weapons, and teams. So let's get started. So, just to summarize Cyno's role and what he does, he is an on-field DPS that uses quicken teams to do the bulk of his damage. He uses his elemental burst, which infuses his normal attacks and charge attacks with electro, and he attacks really quickly. And if you have your first ascension passive, there will be a symbol that will pop up on the screen for a short period of time, and if you press your elemental skill during that period, your elemental skill is buffed greatly. So you basically just want to do a specific kind of rotation where you do a lot of normal attacks, press the skill during those moments, and then just keep killing the enemy. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's actually so straightforward, I don't really need to explain that much of his kit because his normal attacks, nothing really special. His elemental skill does do a little bit of damage and provides energy, but nothing all that special. It's his burst that does all the fancy stuff in his kit, which actually saves me a lot of time because I don't have to go so much in detail about his kit because it's more straightforward. But to start off the actual guide, let's go over his best weapons. Since we are going over the best weapons for him, we're going to go over his signature weapon first. It has a low base attack, but it does provide a lot of crit rate. The most insane part of the weapon is that you get so much attack from your elemental mastery. Now obviously this synergizes pretty well with him because as you're going to see later on in the video, you're going to really want to build him with elemental mastery, especially since that second ascension passive actually buffs his attacks during his burst based off his elemental mastery. Let's say you don't have a signature weapon. Another very good option is the primordial Jadewind Spear. It's got higher base attack but lower crit rate while providing attack percent and damage percent when you get all the stacks. But let's say you don't have any 5-star options. What are some good 4-star options? Well, he's extremely limited in this sense. If you have the event weapon, the Missive Wind Spear, that's going to be his best free-to-play option, providing attack percent and elemental mastery. But if you don't have that, then sadly your only option is going to be the White Tassel. It has a lower base attack and lower crit rate for it being a 3-star weapon, and it buffs normal attacks, which kind of alleviates it, but not really. This kind of means that he doesn't really have good free-to-play weapon options. He's a little bit more limited in that sense, but if you do have the weapons I mentioned, then those are pretty good on him. But obviously you can make do with other 4-star or 5-star options, it just won't be as great. With the weapons out of the way, we're going to go into artifacts, starting with artifact sets. In terms of his best artifact sets, he has two great options. He has the Thundering Fury and the Gilded Dream set. The sets are pretty close to each other in terms of value. It's more of a matter of subsets. And my sister ended up going with Thundering Fury. It just seemed a lot better, especially since it was in the strong box and we didn't have good gilded pieces at the time. Just provides some reaction damage for electro-related elements and provides electro damage bonus. But of course, Gilded Dreams is also a very good artifact set. It provides attack and elemental mastery, which synergizes with his kit pretty well. If I had to pick one, it would be Thundering Fury, but it's a very small difference, so I'll just go with whichever one has the best substats. Now let's get into artifact stats. So for the artifact stats you're going to want to run on him, you want to go for an Elemental Mastery Sands, as that's going to boost his damage a lot, especially since he gets more damage from Elemental Mastery during his burst. You're going to want to go for an Electro Damage bonus Goblet, pretty straightforward, he does electro damage. And for Circlet, you're going to want to go for whichever crit you need more, so if you have like a crit rate weapon, you can go for crit damage or something like that, just whatever balances your ratio more. But yeah, that was pretty quick. We got over his build pretty quickly, which means we're going to go over to the last part of building Cyno, his teams. So, since Cyno scales with Elemental Mastery and he gets a lot of damage from Quicken based reactions, you're going to want to mainly put him in a Quicken team or Quick Bloom team. So for the most straightforward teammate that you're going to always want to put in this team is Nahida. Nahida's just very great. She applies a lot of Dendro off field and boosts Elemental Mastery and other things, especially with her burst. Of course, for the most part, you're going to want to put an Anemo unit in here so that you can swirl and buff his electro damage. So I would go for Sucrose or Kazuha. I would recommend Kazuha more as he just does more damage in AoE and boost damage. The last slot can be whatever you want, but generally I recommend a Hydro unit for that Quick Bloom because it just ends up doing a lot more team damage. So for the Hydro slot, you can always go for Xingqiu as he's pretty good defensive utility, especially with the damage reduction and healing, applies a lot of Hydro. Or if you want, you could use Yelan. Yelan's pretty good too. She does more damage and provides more damage for Cyno, but you're just gonna sacrifice the defensive utility. And between you and me, that really sucks. Like, he really sucks without any form of defensive utility, because if you keep doing his normal attacks and all that and on-fielding him for like a very long time, you're gonna get interrupted a lot, and that sucks. Now, obviously, with the introduction of Baizhu and Furina, those are pretty good options for your team. Furina does provide buffs and enough Hydro to get by in the Quick Bloom, while Baizhu supports her and provides healing and shielding for Cyno, especially with the off-field Dendro application and damage boost. If I'm correct, I think think that's like one of his best teams. But yeah, just a pretty short summary. He is a pretty decent on-field DPS, and he isn't disappointing or OP, so he's in a pretty good spot. If you want to use him, you can use him and you'll feel happy about it, and if you don't want to get him, you won't feel too bad about it. It's a pretty good spot for him to be in. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Before I leave off the video and get straight to the showcase, I gotta do something that, you know, is pretty mandatory because it's the character Cyno. I'm gonna tell the best dad joke that I heard the other day, and I know people will probably click off, but come on, it's Cyno. To sweeten the deal, I'll try to do a Cyno impression too. I'm not the best at it, but you know, I'll try. My wife told me she'd leave me if I sang I'm a believer again. I thought she was lying, but then I saw her face. I'm sorry, I couldn't get through that. I hate my life. But yeah, that's gonna be all for this video. You know, something I want to know. I want you guys to drop your best dad joke in the comments. Don't really ask for engagement, but I think it would be a pretty good opportunity if anybody that got to this point of the video dropped the Cyno joke. Let me know that my videos are doing good and you got to see to this point. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.